We are live, and hello everyone. My second show of the day. It's been a long time since I've had a show, and then two in a day that's a lot.
Wow.
Anyway, I'm so happy to be here with my sisters of the Mystical Tarot. I have with me Val, Dragonfly Crystals, and Shari from Voices from the Swamp, and Marina, Heart Centered Tarot. So welcome everybody. Yay! Yay! And thanks to everybody that's already here. James Spear, it's wonderful to see you. Janet was here earlier. And
Bora's here.
Yeah, that's Janet. Yeah. And then we have Marina here, and Shari here, and Val here. And Jules, I don't think is here, but a new member. I'll always take it.
Yay! Hi. Yay.
Yeah, I know. Disruptosaurus Rex. That's a cute name, dear.
I like that.
Lois T. It's good to see you.
Hello, Lois.
And Sonia. So what's going on, girls? What you been doing?
Work.
Yeah, exactly, right?
No, that's no fun.
No, you know what?
Finals last week, so it's now summer break.
It's all about finding your new groove. How are you showing up now? How are you going to show up, and what that's going to look like? Because I it's like I'm reinventing myself. That's how I feel from ground zero, kind of.
Well, and the fact that we have the chance to do that each day, moving moment to moment, is a wonderful thing. I hope every mom had a great Mother's Day. And you know, did nothing if that's what you wanted to do. And
absolutely.
Yeah. So
I'm ready to start packing.
Packing?
We gotta move. Yeah, we just our building that our apartment is in, they're renovating.
Oh,
so they're gonna like pay us a bonus to move into another apartment, and then with the option
temporarily
of moving back into the original one when they finish. But then the other one they want us to move into is an upstairs apartment, and I'm like, are you really kidding me? I'll expect
there's no elevators in it. No elevators. No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a hard time.
Let the boys do it.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably going to have to hire somebody to come and move the. I don't know. There's a bunch of crap I've gotten here I'm like, you know what? I'm not hauling it back and forth. I'm throwing it out. So
there you go. Good way to get it done. Yeah.
Yes. And I already told the guys, I said, I'm not taking half the living room. I'm taking the whole damn living room. I'll leave you a walkway to get from the door to the rest of the apartment.
I want to say hi to Peace Please, and Garnet's here, and Paul's here, and T.A. Shaw is here, Nancy's here, and Artist Liz and Linda Bishop. Yay! Thank you for stopping in and seeing us here today. Yeah. Well, Shari, we wish you well on that. That is a pain in the nuts.
It is.
Yeah, and if we do it, it's going to have to be done like within the next month and a half.
There you go.
I gotta go talk to them this weekend and go, okay, how much is this other place going to cost? How much is it going to cost to move back into the place I'm originally in? Because they're renovating it. So how much are you renovating? Is this a cosmetic renovation or is this a real renovation that you're coming in to do? So I got a lot of questions. I need to go sit down in the office and talk to the office manager.
So today the topic of discussion is going to be the sacred in ordinary life, and I gave that prompt to the girls to talk about today, and I have some questions that I want to ask them as well. And so I'd like you all to think about it as well in your own lives, how you feel about finding the sacred in everyday life. And I kind of like the fact that you brought that up, Val, that we're reinventing ourselves. And so while we're doing so, we can add that sacred idea into what it is that we might want to be doing. Hi, Ginny. It's nice to see you, dear. Thank you. Oh, you're going to Phoenix. Have a good time, honey. By the time she gets to Phoenix, We'll be
Yes.
all done. Yeah. Okay.
Just be prepared for the heat.
We'll
It's
see.
already up in the hundreds.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So one of the questions I think I want to make sure, where did I find beauty, connection, or presence today that I might normally overlook? And I actually found a really great article too from the Daily Buddha. And I didn't even look it up from the Daily Buddha. Enjoy the little things and how to find the sacred in your life. And so there's some things there that I think I'll probably bring up too. But before we start, I want to know what it is that the word sacred means to you. What does that word bring to mind when you are pondering that question?
That's a good question. Gosh, started out with the definition, and sacred, sacred to me means something that takes you into the present moment, that connects you to everything. Something that just goes, whew.
Yeah.
That is that feeling of that huge light, that huge download, that huge boom. Oh, that sweet spot, like that.
Yes.
Bliss or euphoria. It can show up in so many different ways, but it takes you out of your everyday unconscious behavior and zaps you right into the like hearing birds sing. Boom.
Oh, I know. My daughter and I were sitting outside, and we both were in a chair, and we heard this funny noise behind us, and we couldn't. It was a hummingbird. Its wings. The wings of a hummingbird. Yeah. I mean, that's sacred to me.
It's so sacred and so precious. And that right there will suddenly you're like very present, and you're like, your heart is singing, and you recognize the beauty in the moment. And that is the sacredness of life. Yeah.
It really is. Yeah. Marina, what do you say?
Well, I don't know that I could add much more to that, because it's the little moments that take your breath away that you didn't anticipate. That you could see something 1,000 times, but it's just that, one time that you turn the corner and you see the rainbow, and it's like, it's those little moments that just, I think they're everywhere. Once you start looking for them, really looking for them and paying attention, you realize how much you miss in a day where you're just so focused on, I got to get from here to here, and this is the route I'm going to take, and blah, 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 that you miss all those little wonderful things that, they do. They take your breath away. They make you feel, like you say, Val, connected to something.
Yeah.
Shari, anything from you on that?
What was the question? We had a poopy accident. I had to jump up and go clean.
What does the word sacred mean to you?
I guess for me, it always meant something kind of out of the ordinary that just would kind of catch you off guard. Today at lunch, I was sitting in the car, I was eating my lunch, and I looked up, and this beautiful red cardinal just flew and landed on the fence, like right in front of my car. I was like, wow, I haven't seen a red cardinal in, I can't remember when, just kind of, caught me off guard. And so that was definitely a little touch of the sacred, I think.
Sure. I love that. That's wonderful. Seeing everything with fresh eyes as though we'd never seen them before is a beautiful, beautiful way to describe it. And Lois says, it's when I feel completely at peace and everything is beautiful.
That's
and
true.
some of that is a choice, don't you think, Lois? I mean, it's like we could look at all the ugliness around us and not find anything beautiful if that was our mindset. But when we're open to feeling at peace and open to looking at things through the eyes of beauty.
It is an energetic choice in a way, because sometimes you don't see it. Even though it's there in front of you, you don't. So opening up every morning to see the beauty and everything is pretty profound, because it's like you're choosing the sacred in everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
A big thing for me right now is the fact that we have 3 kittens that are about 7 weeks old that are living on our patio from the
more
mom
kittens.
had her litter. She had another litter, and they're about 7 weeks old now. But there's one in particular that has just decided that people are really cool. And so when you go sit on the patio, she comes about, he or she, I don't know which one it is, but that particular kitten just comes like pouncing across the patio to come
That's
curl
cute.
up on your toes or wrap around your ankles. And the other
Yeah.
2 are a little bit more standoffish, but it's just to sit there sometimes and just watch them wrestle and play and carry on the
So if you
patio.
think about it, we've all been talking about really nature in a lot of
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah.
We're talking
Yeah.
about flowers, and we're talking about animals and other things, rainbows. So nature equals sacredness, don't you think?
It really does.
Absolutely.
It's pretty profound.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a profound thing when you think
Very,
about
very much
nature.
so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
There are places on Earth that nothing should grow. The environment is such that nothing should grow.
Mhm.
And yet
it does.
something will find a
Yes.
way, and it will thrive in that environment.
Absolutely.
And whatever it is, it's normally beautiful,
Yes.
colorful and beautiful. And even though it may only last a short time, it does. You look at it and you think, oh my God, look at this. Look how fabulous this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even here in the desert, we have those things that flower and are beautiful. You'll drive along and you'll see even the cactus are gorgeous and they flower.
Yes.
I moved to Phoenix in January, right? Like the last 2 days of December. So basically the beginning of January. And when spring came rolling around and to go to work, I used to take the 202 loop, that goes around the Phoenix proper. And I was heading to work early one morning. It was like 5 a.m. And one of those big swirl cactus, and off of the top was this brilliant, beautiful flower. I nearly wrecked the car because I didn't know that cactus grew flowers.
They do.
I had no clue that was a thing that existed.
Thing.
And I got to work, and I'm like going on and on about this flower coming out of this cactus. And everybody's like, yeah, they do that every spring. And I'm like, I didn't know that. So, but it was gorgeous just to see that.
Sure. Well, it's the same when you think about it. If you see like 2 rocks or 2 stones that are together and up or on the concrete in a city, and then you see this beautiful flower growing between the little crack between them.
Yes, the seeds will be planted by some bird or the wind, and suddenly it'll germinate.
As Jeff Goldblum's character said in the very first Jurassic Park, nature will find a way. No matter what, nature will find a way. It was like, that's exactly.
Always does.
Yep. So Linda lives as a pioneer woman, sort of, in her RV. And the moment she feels content, she says all her needs are met. And the bonus is the love from her animals. And I can understand that. That's just, it's like me when I'm prepping an area for my dog ashes that, and so I'm doing some mulching and things like that out there. And it just feels so good. There's just something about it that, if I buried my animals, which they all get cremated, but if I buried them and I left here, moved out of here, they would be still here. But to me, now they're just scattered with the rest of nature.
Exactly. They're in nature. It's nature.
It is.
It's like back to the earth. We all go. Yeah.
What about any of you find that sacredness in, let's say, making food when you're not in a hurry? Like making
I mean, my sacredness is dessert.
There you go.
If I'm making dessert, I feel that love and that joy of my family eating that dessert, or the pleasure the dessert will give everyone. and how much fun it is to make that. Yes, absolutely, 100%. And I think that shows up in a lot of different things that we do that you don't think somebody's going to get all this out of it, but
you make that perfect meal, and everybody that sits down to eat is like, oh my God, this is awesome. And you know that maybe it's something you make on a regular basis, but not everybody gets to experience that. And it's just, you're making it with love, and then to see people really enjoy it, that's a wonderful feeling.
And even if you're sitting around a table like that, Shari, and all of a sudden somebody cracks a joke and everybody's laughing so hard that they can hardly breathe, that laughter is a sacred space.
That is as sacred as you can get.
Yes. It is. It's that synergy where everybody just is in this deep release, and you're feeling that euphoria of that deep laugh where you're about to fall off the chair.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That's the best kind of laughter too.
Expression in, stop or I'll pee. That probably happened around the dining room
stop
table.
Or I'll pee.
Everyone. Yes. Stop. That's when you start doing, as my niece used to call it, the pee dance. When you're in the chair.
Exactly. And I often have to tell my husband that. I tell him, you're making me pee.
Yes, exactly.
Because he's always cracking jokes.
Right.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, I know when my mom first started wearing the pen pads back in the beginning when she got sick, and she would find something funny and she would start laughing, and we would all start laughing, and then somebody would make the comment about, oh my God, I'm gonna pee in my pants, stop. And she'd be like, oh, I can, because I'm wearing it depends.
Already.
And she's like, yeah, I don't have to worry about that anymore. So really cracked me up.
Please, yes. The baby's laughing hysterically in video.
Yeah.
You can't get over that.
There is, honestly, I can't think of anything that is more beautiful, more delightful, more
pure. It's pure.
You can't listen to that with giggling.
Pure is the best word. Yeah, it's just that
the delight. I mean, that you
laughter that they'll do.
That young as infants, they could giggle and laugh hilariously. It is just so, I mean, that is just
over
the silliest things that normally wouldn't make anybody laugh, but for whatever reason, it strikes them as funny in the moment.
Yes.
And to see them just lose it, like, a dog barking, and then some baby just starts cracking up, and then the dog realizes, oh, this is making the little one happy, so he barks some more, and the baby laughs some more, and it just, and it's that interplay that you see.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
It's really,
and I get in trouble because sometimes I'll hear a kid, like this kid was, it's a meme now where the kid says a bullshit, and it's like they hear it and they say it, and it's you can't get mad at them. They heard it, but it's so funny.
Yes. Exactly.
Kids will say the damnedest things at the wrong time in front of the wrong people with words that that they only learn coming out of your mouth.
They learn those expressive words so easily.
Yeah.
Generally, those are the first
words,
really, that they'll.
They always hear that.
Well, think about it. What's normally the first words you learn in another language? You learn all the curse words.
And it must be because you say them so expressively and with emphasis and with emotion or whatever. And that's what gets caught up in their awareness.
Yep.
And
then there is, I think 12 years between me and my youngest sister. And when she would have been about 3 years old at the time. She was in her bedroom, and she had clearly heard some words that she knew she shouldn't be repeating, but and one of the words was the F word. So she was in her room with the door closed, Mom and I are sitting in the kitchen, and she starts, F you. What? She kept this up for about 10 minutes. Different accents,
Tonalities, different phrases.
tonalities, different. She never said it again, but we were just laughing hysterically because she's trying it out before she uses it. She's trying it out.
That's just hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
Will Ferrell had that. I don't know if you saw that when that was on, and he had the little girl come to the door, and she was like, "I need your rent, and I'm going to throw you out on the street." Her name was Pearl, and she was like 4, and she had this long dress on. Oh my God, it just made me laugh so much. And then there's another one that I love that's real old and real fun, but it's the German Shepherd when the guy said, "I went to get you something to eat, but they didn't have any meat." And the dog went, "Oh," and it goes on. It's really funny. I mean, it's so creative and delightful that it's almost like sacred space.
Oh, those things are so darn cute.
Yeah,
I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Will Ferrell one was good. Also, Art Linkletter, the king. You know,
Oh my God,
I love it when they used to ask the question, "What does your parents not want you to say today?"
And you know that the sensors that are sitting just behind the cameras are like poised with their fingers on the button.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
Yeah.
So I think that it's important to say that none of us are ever completely always spiritual, because it's a growing process. And so is the sacredness of the growing process. And so I love the sentiment of before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. And it's like we all have to do the daily stuff, but we shouldn't forget the sacred. And so, yeah, I love that.
I think that's what the masters always say, the sacred is in everything.
Yeah,
it's just to remind us every single act that we do is a
sacred act.
It's in the spiritual. And so we think mundane isn't spiritual, but it actually, it is in the context that everything in life is spiritual. I mean, because we're here as human beings, but we're actually divine beings, and that everything we do is for our remembering of that divinity. So every single act and every single moment of every day, can we stay in that present moment? Man, is that hard?
Oh, it is.
So you're absolutely right. We're in the mundane a lot, and unless we pull ourselves back and go and recognize that beauty in everything around us, and that practice alone helps you progress to remembering more of your own life.
Absolutely. They're even saying washing the dishes
about the baby with the ice cream. I first time I saw that video, I choked. I laughed so hard. This kid, parents give a little lick of the ice cream and just like, and just grabs it and shoves the whole thing in his face. I mean, that's probably one of the best videos I've ever watched.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very true. But the idea of, I'm sorry. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, isn't it funny that most of us have throughout the various shows that we've done have mentioned at some point that, what do we do when we want to raise our spirits? We watch funny videos. We watch things that make us laugh.
Absolutely.
So
we do.
Yeah. There were people that have done that. They've been cancer patients, and they've locked themselves into their rooms and watched funny videos in order to laugh, because that's what we're missing. We're missing the joy, which is sacredness.
And you can heal. You can heal yourself.
Yeah.
Because it raises your vibration from
Absolutely.
that laughter. That's just, there's so much about laughter and keeping your humor and laughing at yourself, and don't be so serious about things that are going on in your life, even the drama. Just laugh, take a step back and just Think
Yes.
about how outlandishly weird and silly it all actually is.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this. You used to walk with your grandmother to the grocery store. We crossed a bridge with graffiti spray painted on it. I asked what the F word meant, and she hurried me along. Oh my God. I came home from 6th grade, and what I'd heard in school is what I told my parents my day was. And it wasn't a very good message, because she asked me what happened in school today, and I said that this boy in my class effed a girl in my class, and she let him.
I came home with things like that too, Aley, and I
Did
didn't even
you?
know what I was saying. But
I didn't either. No, I didn't.
I
And
heard
they
it
get
in my
mad.
child brain, and and my parents were like, "Huh." They were
what?
they were ready to have the talk, the birds and bee talk with me after that. And they had the birds and bee talk, and my eyes glazed over. I didn't know what the hell they were talking about.
My mother had a beautiful way of dealing with that, and she would look at us and just say, that's an interesting way to say that word, but it's not meant to say in front of everybody. So we're just going to keep it between us. And so, like, she didn't make us feel guilty that we said it.
Yeah.
But she let us know, in her roundabout way, it's not something you go out and say to everybody, because your grandmother will become apoplectic if you do.
My mother was not upset with the word. She was upset with the message I came home with. That this 6th grader was with this 6th grader doing
Yeah. I came home with a similar, Aley, and
really?
it had to do with a park bench and a boy's thumb.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So there is how the birds and bees.
I bet none of us had the same picture come into our head when you said that. We all laughed.
My parents did not read that moment correctly, because I was not ready for the birds and bee thing. I didn't even have a context for that, and I left my body. They talked, and I was blank completely out. I don't even know what they talked about.
Yes.
So I got the book for Christmas that was everything you need to know about sex after that.
Oh, yeah.
For a 12-year-old, whatever it was. Yeah.
I mean,
that's funny.
They have to know, but man, I was not ready. Kids are ready when they're ready, and if you give them a book, when they're ready, they'll read it.
Absolutely.
There was this excellent book, and my mother had bought when I started asking questions. It was probably written for a little bit younger than me, but she discovered one night after we'd had the book for God knows how long, that I was reading it to my little brother as a bedtime story. And it would start out with, like, the bees do this and the birds do this and the animals do this. And then you get to the people and and what goes where and what happens when what goes where. And it was all done very well done, a very well written book with pictures that were not explicit, but were explanatory in their own way. And and I'll never forget when it dawned on her one night that I'd been reading it to my little brother, who was like 2 or 3, for a bedtime story, because he liked the pictures in the book of the animals and everything. And so that was okay. I would read the book.
I'm sure it went over his head, but he
did.
got it on some levels. But
he didn't have any clue what I was reading to him. It was just the fact that I was reading him a bedtime story.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah,
let's go back in here to the everyday blessings. I'm sorry, Marina, go ahead, honey.
Oh no, I was just saying I loved that Sonia's comment about my daughter's grade teacher told me. Yeah, what was the said an F word? What was the word? Fart.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to say that either.
I mean, to this day, my husband, 76 years old, that word is offensive to him because that's how he was brought up.
Yeah,
and that
it was always past gas.
Yeah,
you never say fart. No.
Yes, you never say that.
That's right.
In his family.
Or I remember somebody. My mother didn't like the word "cucka" either, though. You don't say "cucka." No, you don't say that. Anyway, what everyday blessings are easiest for us to overlook? Any ideas, ladies, that you'd like to say?
What's easy to overlook as something that you would want to be grateful for? All those things that seem like they're SHIT in your face kind of things.
Maybe.
Because, those are the most challenging things to see the golden lining in. And if you hadn't been fired from that job, you wouldn't have found the fantastic job that you have now.
Or that marriage.
Or you wouldn't have run into that particular group of friends that you now have. Or you can always see the golden lining after because you can see where you are now. But to recognize it right when all of the stuff's going down and to realize the universe has something better for you. There's something, some other place you're meant to be. There's something coming forward that you're meant to allow yourself an opening for. If you can frame all these events from the lens of there's something wonderful happening. The universe is creating this for you for opportunities and openings. That is the way to see the sacred in those kind of,
I really love
Scripture says it alone in the Bible, where when a door closes, somewhere a window opens. And so, it's looking through the haze of pain or hurt or anger and then seeing, and you're right, Val, it's usually you're all the way on the other side of it before you see where that that unusual good came through from.
I mean, you can still open your heart to see there's something coming for you, even if you don't know what it is while you're in the midst of it, which is, it takes effort, everyone. You have to, or attention, awareness. And that will pay off. That will pay off so much that you'll really be creating an energy of that kind of receptivity in your life when you start practicing that, even in the small ways. Like you go to the store, you want this one thing to make your cake, and they were all out. Try
there must be a reason.
Try some new thing. Try whatever that may be. Whatever that may be.
That's true. So difficult moments do make things more sacred for us. If somebody allows you to be with them when they pass, that's a gift. And the same thing can be said. I hate it that my dogs don't live long enough because they should always be with me. But I had them and they were a gift. But we can't see that when we're going through it because it is difficult for everybody.
It's difficult.
It is. And there are things that we encounter, like you said, we don't realize what blessings they were. Originally, we'll see them as trials, tribulations, challenges, so on. And then, when we're on the other side and we're able to look back and you go, oh my God, dodged a bullet on that one. Ooh, exactly. What a blessing that was.
Really.
Oh, especially if you see like a hookup with somebody and you break up and you're heartbroken and you're ripped apart, and then you see them later down the road with someone else and how miserable that someone else is now that they're
because maybe the reason why they broke up with you is maybe they have some character flaws and you didn't realize they were an alcoholic or they were
an abuser of some kind,
who isn't monogamous or whatever that may be.
I love this, Linda, that we're finding out so much is going on that we're missing that we had last year. And I remember once reading when we used to write checks for our bills. I remember once reading that we were supposed to put thank you on that check because you're thanking them for the fact that you were able to have the electricity, have the trash pickup, have the whatever it was. And I remember that was very powerful to me. It was like, wow, we can even be sacred when we're doing things we don't particularly like doing.
I write 12 checks a year at the first of the month, every month for the rent. And that's the only reason why I have a checking account. Why I have a checkbook. I mean, to actually write a check. I write a physical check for my rent. That's the only thing I write a check for.
I like writing checks, but I mean, I didn't like it at the grocery store if I'm because, inevitably somebody would get all their groceries through and then they'd open their purse and they'd get out their checkbook.
Yes.
And it's like, I had the
Now
whole
you tap the card, you tap the card, and boom.
Exactly.
Now you log in, you say, is it tap or is it slide? You know,
Yeah.
which one can I use?
Yeah. Yeah. Peace,
And
please.
it's
I love
irritating when
this.
there's no tap. You know, it's like it doesn't tap. It's
Yeah. I love this piece, please.
Yeah.
To be able to look at the bigger picture daily. Yeah. Yeah. We may not know what the bigger picture is, but we will, like you said, Val, because hindsight's 2020. So it's
I like
much
what
more.
Garnet says.
Yeah.
They didn't want to know me then, so they don't know me now.
There you go.
There you go.
I think about that. I remember having I'm the dream lady, but I remember having dreams about my boyfriend from high school over and over and over and over and over and over. Same dream. And, he seemed like, the person I should never have given up. And so I met him. He was my friend's brother. So I would see him sometimes. And I was at the house and he said, let's go out to get some dinner or something together. I'd like to chat with you. We were very friendly. And he was married. I was married. It was no big deal. But he sat there during that whole meal and bitched and complained about the price and this and that. And he didn't know about, And I thought, thank God I didn't marry
It could have been your husband. And you're like, oh, I dodged a bullet on that one.
I surely did.
Yes.
And I never had a dream about him again.
Oh, I think that was like a
Thank God
closure.
for unanswered prayers.
Yeah. There were a few people I dated like that years later I would be like, oh, thank you. I did not end up with this person.
Yeah.
Well, I look back at the jocks in high school, the guys that were like the most popular, and I look back now and see them, and I'm like, wow, I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
They're not anything like they used
What
to be.
surprised me
The
was
glamour is off. The
well, that
glossiness
happened to me
is
in
gone.
college. That some of these guys that were in college that were the jocks, they were the biggest drunks. They were the guys that never took care of any women. They they do, and they were all getting degrees in being elementary school teachers.
Oh wow!
And I used to think, I don't want this guy teaching my
know.
kid. He's a dirtbag,
Now, in that same line, what you end up with if you would have gone for the pencil in the pocket nerd, you could have gotten. You would have been
You'd have been a millionaire by now.
Huh? Those are the good husbands.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true. Yeah.
When I went to my first high school reunion, I think it was the 20 year, because I missed the 10 year. But I went to the 20 year, and it was so funny because all of the hot jocks, from the day were all these balding, fat, kind of rude and crude guys. And all of the nerdy guys that I remembered for high school, they were all of these like really good looking men that had really nice bodies.
They just were behind they were behind the times. They hadn't come into
they had really good jobs that obviously paid good money from the car they were driving and the suit they were wearing.
So I mean, if you go back and date the nerds, because baby,
that's funny.
That's
so
where
funny.
it's at.
Oh yeah,
the deep thinkers, the ones who aren't out screwing around, who actually have a contribution to society, to humanity.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So I got a couple of questions here. What helps you remember what truly matters? If somebody was observing your life as an observer, where would they see the sacred expressed in your life? Any thoughts?
That's a good one. I think they'd see the sacred expressed when I get up in the morning and I say, thank you for this beautiful day. In fact, I say it this way. This day was magnificent. This day was amazing. It was filled with synchronicities. Thank you. And I say it like it's already done.
Already there.
Like I'm going to bed now. And then I make my chai tea and I'm stirring it, saying a most benevolent outcome. And I'm blessing this chai tea. And I'm saying all the things I want, that setting the energy and intentions
setting
for
the day energy.
And so then I go drink my chai tea and meditate. So I think they would say being mindful as you first open your eyes and continuing to have those mindful events that you do. It's not like I don't have those times when I slip back into watching a story, historical romance, or whatever that is. It's not like I don't. I do. Everyone, I'm not some kind of saint. There is no such thing here. But yeah, no, I am no. So I am.
I like that idea.
But so I make my ordinary everyday things are those sacred things that I have planned out. You can get stale with that if you don't look at it and be present with it. You can get on autopilot with it.
You can.
So you have to be careful to really feel that emotion. So when I go into meditation now, I especially go to my heart chakra to feel those feelings, either of gratitude or someone I love, so that I can activate that emotion, because that really helps you go deeper when you go into meditation. That emotion is really a gateway.
Absolutely.
I love that. I say if you were watching me, that it would be the time I spend with my journal.
Yes, same thing, because when you're with your journal, you're channeling.
Yeah.
That is a pure connection. As you're writing, this is flowing through. And that's expression. That's connection. That's, yeah.
It's listening to yourself, really, because you're writing about it. Yeah.
Yes.
Sonia has humor and laughter, and I love that. How about you, Marina? If we're watching you, what are we watching, girlfriend?
What you're watching making conscious choices.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that I do agree with Val that when I wake up in the morning, yes, I start thinking about my day, and I start thinking about how great it's going to be.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for all the blessings that are coming today. They're, absolutely fabulous. And the sun is shining. Thank you. The sun is shining. I think that it's making a conscious choice to choose happiness, to choose joy, to choose positivity. And the more that I choose it, the more that it is reflected back to me. So it's why would I do anything else? Why would I do anything? I'm tired of being happy. Can I just have a little bit of whatever? It's like So like,
and it can get to you. It's like me with the oral medications. Then they want to prescribe them, and I know it's not going to work, and so it doesn't work. And I was creating that myself. I recognize I was also creating that myself. Yeah.
It's funny that we're talking about this, because I'm reminded. I got together yesterday with a dear friend who I haven't seen in a few months, and that was basically what we were talking about, was a choice, and how much time we have wasted or had wasted in our lives by believing that we had no choice, believing that things happen to us as opposed to things happen for us. And she was saying, it took a long while to realize that, I'm acting from a people-pleasing point of view, and decisions that I'm making are based on, well, I can't say no to that person because maybe they won't like me, or maybe this or whatnot. She said, here I am, I'm living in my head, creating situations. And then, she said, I realized, hey, you have a choice. You can say no.
Yeah.
You can say no. And how much.
Even to the thoughts.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So even the thoughts. So finding the sacred in everything, I think, is a choice. If you consciously decide that you're going to see it, the universe is going to provide that for you.
Yes.
It's going to give you that opportunity to validate that. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
There it is. It just keeps coming back.
And that's the whole thing about it.
Believe
Yeah,
you deserve it, and the universe will serve it. Remember, we
yes,
talked
that's exactly what I was going to say in a different
Yeah.
way. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Totally.
Shari, I'm thinking that I know how much it means to you to go out and sit in your little area at lunch.
Mhm.
That's where I would watch you in your sacredness. But do you have another idea of that?
No, that's my recharge
Mm,
for the day is to go sit outside.
yeah.
Even when I'm not at work, I mean, I go sit out on the patio or something,
Right.
or
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
go find a place. They're just even when during a difficult time or really hard or sad time,
Hmm.
I find comfort and solace in going outside
Hmm.
Yeah.
and just sitting outside, you know, and just whatever is going on is going on. Um, and I think that's probably where most people would see me at my most honest self.
Hmm.
That's not self-conscious, you know, that's just
Yeah.
my truer self is to just observe me sitting outside and reading or listening to something or just staring off into the void, you know, just depending on whatever.
Mhm.
And because that's where I get that's where I feel like I get plugged in and
Yep.
get recharged, whether
Mhm.
it's sitting in the car, sitting in the bushes, uh, back when I lived in Florida, going to the beach, you know,
Mhm.
just anything that had to do with nature. That's always
Sure.
been
Yeah.
my plug-in for
That's awesome.
dealing with anything was
Yeah.
just to get outside.
Yeah.
And
Well, I know you've mentioned it so many times, and I know how much it means to you. And you
yeah,
also make the videos sometimes out there. You did for a
yeah, I
long
do
time.
that on my lunch break every day, or
Yeah.
mostly
Yeah.
every day.
Uh-huh.
Little
Yeah.
10-15 minute video, and
Yeah.
you know,
It's just
just
a connection. Yeah.
whatever I've heard that morning that kind of sticks with me,
Mhm.
then I'll just kind of think of a question and I'll do a quick reading on it. It's not long drawn out or real heavy, and sometimes they're funny and sometimes they're
Mhm.
pissy and sometimes they're just kind of like bleh, you know, it just
Yeah.
I don't get a big emotion off of it, but it's just getting
Mhm.
something off my chest.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Sure.
um
Sure.
and I get enjoyment and get encouragement from people who respond in the comments, whether if it's the morning affirmations or my
Mhm.
lunchtime readings of just, oh, that's exactly what I needed to hear today. Oh,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
hit that one right out. You know, that's
Uh-huh.
exactly what I was thinking. Or that I
That's
was
awesome.
just saw something about that. I'm so glad you read on it. You know,
Yeah.
it's just knowing that me doing something that I was doing for myself to make myself feel better and I started sharing it and to
Mhm.
know that other people get
Look
something out of
forward to
it.
it. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And that's
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 awesome.
probably the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
And
I love this, Lois. You wake up, if you don't give your dog the attention, your dog is sort of heartbroken.
Heartbroken.
Mine's like that at night because I don't see them all day. They're with him because I'm busy. And when they come in at night, the puppy goes over to Keith and puts her paw on him and looks at him. And she's saying, it's time for us to go in with mom now. That's
yeah,
kind of cool. So I
Bye.
guess,
Yeah.
yeah,
See
yeah,
you later, Dad.
yeah. And Anya watches the birds come to feed from the feeder. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes.
that's
That,
always wonderful.
it is beautiful. Yeah. And Linda said she fed her neighbor. They had the same landlord. Man walked 6 miles to work and was disabled. Wow. That's what a sacred life he lived, if you think
Oh,
about it. Really.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
sacred in and of itself.
Mhm.
Um, so let's see. What do you think the world would look like if more people treated life as sacred?
Oh wow.
That would be a life with a lot of people living in
Yeah.
the present moment. So I think life would look a lot differently because mindfulness would really prohibit you from getting into wars and conflicts with other countries, and motivation of why you would want to do any of those things would suddenly become foremost and present.
Yeah.
And I think all of a sudden we would become more cognizant of how we affect other people. Because everyone is us. So
yes,
that's true. That's
kinder, gentler, more inclusive, more non-judgmental. Just think of living in utopia.
Absolutely. It would be like shine your light 31 days out of the
exactly. I mean, I mean, it would be
Tanya hit it exactly. John Lennon's Imagine.
Imagine.
That's my mantra for life. Is that
absolutely. Because that is really what's possible. That isn't a pie in the sky idea. It is possible.
It can happen.
Exactly.
And that's why people look forward to it. Marina, go ahead.
Thank you, Aley. Yeah, it begins with you, right? Don't be the change you want to see. Don't wait for someone else to do it.
Right.
Why don't you do it? Why don't you be the person that holds the door for everyone, the person that says thank you, you know, the person that sees, you know, that mother stopping off at the grocery store on the way home after work with a toddler that is just you know, maybe make eye contact and smile like, sister, I've been there, I get you.
Exactly.
You know,
for a little energetic support by sharing that energy.
Absolutely. I really love that. I do. It just is the epitome of you know, and the fact that you can do it once a month and bring so much joy and so much sacredness to that event. And there's usually never one word of negativity that comes through in that show, in the chat or in the show. So it's like we can take this time in order to do that. We can do that every day if we sit with ourselves. You know, and the thing is, the problem is that we are spiritual beings, but we're in a human body and having a human experience. So sometimes it's hard.
Yeah. And every once in a while, you know what? The human comes out. The human does come out. I can't say that, you know, I'm spiritual 100% of the time, or I'm not. I'm not. There are times when, that inner Karen comes out, and I have to let her come out. Otherwise, it's going to hurt me if I don't. You know, so
I have to shove her out the door.
And that's I like that point, Marina, because you really don't want to shut yourself down. You really have to express whatever's coming out. And
that's true. That's very true.
Don't hold it in, because that's something.
It's not good either.
No, it's not. It's not. You don't want to. You've got to speak your truth wherever you're at the moment, and you can look at it after.
Yes, exactly. And there have been times when after Karen has had her moment, that I will go back and say, okay, I apologize.
Yeah, exactly. But you because you didn't hold back, you told the universe, I'm free to express. I can stand in my power and express. And you don't ever want to be on the other side of that if you consciously can stand in the power of who you are and express from the truth of that moment.
And it's having those relationships with people where you can let that out. And not and not.
And they know that you're not like that all
They
the time.
know that this
Yeah.
is you're venting. You need to rant. You need to get it
Exactly.
out.
And that's the whole thing. We should hold the space for everyone to be who they are and show up
Right.
how they are
Oh, yeah.
with no judgment about it.
Mhm.
Because you're
Exactly.
not all dark, you're not all light, you're not, you're this
Absolutely.
whole entire package
Yes.
of everything. So,
Yeah, very
Yeah,
true.
come on.
So I remember reading many, many times and or talking with people who are near death.
Yeah.
And we talked about death last week and we said we should talk more about it. But one of the things that I found was fascinating to me was when people are asked what would be a perfect day for you or the memories that come through in a near-death experience, most of them are rather ordinary.
Yes.
The sacred that comes through is taking the time to laugh with your kids,
Yes.
taking the dog out, going out and having a picnic, being spontaneous, just sitting with
everyday
friends.
moments. Yeah.
Yes. It isn't, you think it's going to be your wedding day, the day your first child was, and those are wonderful experiences, but it's the sacredness in every day that really is what we think about when we're sitting in that place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that true? Because that's the sweetness of life. The nectar of life is that beautiful ongoing energy. It's the synergy you've created, like with your family or your friends. And haven't you once in a while just sat there and gone, wow, this just feels so good. Either this conversation, this energy flowing, whether it's with your friends or your family. And even when people are snarking back and forth and you're sitting at Thanksgiving dinner and you're all going, wow, look at all of us here. This is just so magnificent. We could come together and have this moment. All of it's pretty precious.
It is pretty precious.
Yeah.
So,
I've had 44 Christmases with my son. 44. The one that always stands out the most, the one that I always go to when I'm thinking of memories, and it was one of the more initially unpleasant ones, was when his father and I first separated. I wasn't working, I was off on disability, and he absolutely refused to pay. So while I'm waiting for paperwork to come in and for money and whatnot to start coming in, Christmas falls. And there was no way that I was going to be able to put together a traditional Christmas dinner. I wasn't. And so I was worried about that. And he asked me, Mom, why do you look so sad? And I said, well, I don't know what we're going to do for Christmas dinner. I have no idea. He said, oh, I know. Can we have chicken nuggets and curly fries?
Exactly.
And that was
you never forgot it. You never forgot. My daughter and I, we were really poor, and I gave her a candle, and she gave me I don't know what, but that's the Christmas I remember what we gave. It was amazing. It was,
to a kid, you think these
we
things,
just order pizza this year?
And they're just happy with chicken nuggets.
nuggets and curly fries.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That is wonderful.
So cute.
So to tie up here, I just want to say to those who have been listening, and thank you for all your comments because they're fabulous.
Oh yeah,
there's
really some wonderful stuff in the chat.
Yeah. Have this reflection if you can. And even if you can't do anything else, even if you can't do a meditation, even if you can't remember to be happy every day or whatever, where did I encounter beauty, connection, or presence today that I might normally overlook? You can bring that to the end of your day, and you can remind yourself that there's always something good to be found in the day, something sacred, something that you hope to remember or hope to encompass as a way that you want to remain sacred in your own life. And even though I didn't really have you girls answer that question, you did in a lot of other ways. And so it's beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate you. I just want to say that, what do you have to say? Shows coming up, Val?
Yeah, I have Arthur Ease Your Mind. I'll be on his channel tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern time tonight. So it's a Arthur and Val Q&A. So get on there with your questions, and it'll be personal, not or spiritual, not political.
Okay, yeah. That's fabulous. And thank you, Nancy Jean. It's wonderful to have you here for the last few minutes. We appreciate you. Marina, what's coming up? You guys have a show tomorrow, I believe. You and Val.
We do. I'll be joining Val on her channel for episode 177 of Messages for Lightworkers. Really looking forward to that. And then tomorrow at 7, it's Golden Girls Coffee Clat on Judy's channel. But we have to get in touch with Judy because I haven't received a link yet. So we got to remind her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had Golden Girls last week.
No, we had kitchen table issues. Didn't we? No.
No, because
we did have you're right.
Marina, I feel so much better because I got all this weekend myself. Thank you.
Oh,
next Thursday is Golden Girls.
Next Thursday is Golden Girls. Yes. And tomorrow night is kitchen table issues where Cleo is going to join me. Yes, absolutely. And then Friday I've got at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Ivana Intuitive is going to be joining me. So we'll be doing readings for that. And Judy, if you're listening, my apologies. A week to get that link out.
It's all right. It's all right. I did the same thing to you. You're not. Now I feel vindicated. Anyway, Shari, what about you? What's going on?
I'll be with Judy tomorrow night for Politics with Judy. That's why when Marina's like Golden Girls, and I'm looking at my calendar going, no, that's not right. And Friday at 5 o'clock Central, my members live stream, and Saturday I will have Kyle back on. She'll be back, and we'll be doing a show Saturday afternoon, and of course the slumber party. And that takes me through the weekend. So
fabulous. Tomorrow I'm going to be on with Elspeth, the healing painter, and she's going to paint my portrait in real time.
I'm looking forward to watching that.
Yeah, that's going to be at 11 in Pacific time, if anybody's interested. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
And how did you? I think your show probably went well as well. I didn't get a chance to see it yet. Okay, good.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, moderators. Yes. Thank you, subscribers. Thank you, everyone. Gals, this was really enjoyable for me. We'll be back next week with Marina.
Next week is the 20th. And yes, according to my calendar.
All right, we got that right. So we'll see you next week.
According to my calendar too, it's Marina next week.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, y'all.